Fox News invited on a historian to push the idea of Bible literalism. In the year 2015, Fox is pushing Bible literalism. And they are a news channel.
Doubter's Guide to the Bible, Dr. John Dickson. There's his book right there, something you might want to pick up. So thanks so much, Dr. Dickson, for being with us. Why did you write this book?
To try and give doubters an overview of the Bible that along the way addresses their quite serious doubts.
That's excellent. So what are some of these doubts that the majority of the people you talk to have?
Well, a lot of people say the Bible has been used as a tool of oppression and slavery and violence through the centuries. And indeed, I think part of the answer is yes, it has been used in this way. The interesting thing is that these are universals of human culture. You don't need the Bible to have war, violence, and slavery. They were there in Greece and Rome before the Bible came along. The more interesting question, I think, is what has the Bible uniquely inspired in Western culture? And historians would generally agree that the Bible gave to Western culture its tradition of charity for the poor, love of enemy, human rights. These things didn't come from Greece and Rome. They came from the influence of the Bible.
Mm-hmm. You know, I hear a lot of people saying, well, you can't prove it. Did someone really get swallowed by a whale? Did Noah really build this ark? So what's your response to those skeptics?
Well, I think there's probably less evidence than the average devout Christian would hope for, but way more evidence than our average atheist friend would ever imagine.
Oh, they make my job way too easy. They just said there's evidence that Jonah lived in a whale. Lived in a whale. How long was it for again? Was it like a week or something like that? I think it was about that long. Did he have to pay rent? And what happened with the digestive system of the whale? It was backed up for a while? Is that what happened? Couldn't shit Jonah out? And what exactly is this evidence we're talking about? What is the evidence? You know, I love how he has a foreign accent, so we're all supposed to think he's smart. Like, ooh, say more. I spoke to my pastor, and he said that he spoke to a descendant of Jonah, and Jonah indeed was in the whale. I don't know how do you even respond to people like this? That's my question. Because they're not even bothering, like, there are people who are genuinely smart who can do mental gymnastics and, like, ninja apologetics for Christianity and for all religions, right? There are people, no, you don't get it. It is strictly metaphorical. The idea of literalism and truth as we understand it today didn't even exist until a few hundred years ago. This is the line that Reza Aslan uses. And you know you're talking to somebody who's intelligent because he concedes right off the bat that of course it can't be literal. Look at how stupid the shit is. Obviously it's not literal. But the idiots on Fox News are like, no, we're going to defend Bible literalism. Bring that guy on. Okay, if the Bible is literally true, as they're arguing here, slavery's in the Bible. It's defended in the Bible. If you really believe in the Bible, you should be arguing to bring it back. There was a ban on interracial marriage. In the Bible, they talk about multiple times, they allude to the fact that the earth is flat. There's one part where they talk about sailing to the four corners of the earth. The only way the earth could have corners is if it's flat. If you believe the Bible is literally true, you believe in a flat earth. The story of Adam and Eve, right? You have to believe. So if you believe the Bible is literally true, you have to believe in Genesis. You have to believe in the story of Adam and Eve. So if you believe in the story of Adam and Eve, you don't believe in evolution, and you're arguing that that didn't happen. You're arguing that the world is, if you count up all the Bible stories and you go back, the world's only 6,000 or so years old, according to a literalist interpretation of the Bible. We know the world is 4.54 billion years old. The universe is about 13.9 billion years old. Look, we understand the age of the Earth in many respects because of stuff like radiocarbon dating and other scientific methods that are proven. But this guy's like, no, let me talk about evidence here, and I will say that the evidence proves that Jonah lived in a whale and the earth is 17 seconds old. In the Bible, people live to the age of 900. There's talking snakes, there's seven-headed dragons. People act like, well, you know, there's only crazy stuff in the Old Testament. Wrong! There's crazy stuff in the New Testament, too. It's not like Jesus came along and all of a sudden he started talking like Bertrand Russell. He's not David Hume. No, there's still crazy, unscientific garbage there. I mean, to be a Christian, you have to believe in the central claim, which is the divinity of Jesus, which means you believe in the resurrection of Jesus, which means you believe in the story flying bodily to heaven. This is Jesus. He's like, yeah, I gotta go to heaven and get my dad who's really me, which doesn't make any sense, but nonetheless, I'll fly there to talk to me who's really him, and we're also a third person too, and I was crucified, and my magic couldn't get me out at that second, but then I decided I'm going to come back at some point. Hold on, guys, I'll be there in a little bit. Hold your horses, and I'll send somebody on Fox News to argue that the story is literally true. It's such elementary school level argument. They haven't even graduated to the, let's just say it's metaphorical in some parts, so that we have a stronger argument to agree with the science, which says, of course, these other things aren't possible. They're all in, son.